Hello, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to look into pivoting the data in PowerQuery. The reason for this video is for pivoting is when you have two columns in a table and you want to pivot, it is not possible, and then you have to do some other tricks around it to make it work. Usually unpivoted data is the best way in Power BI, but there are some reasons that you need to pivot the data. So let me actually first show you what we want to achieve and how we will do it in Power Query. So let's look sample data in Excel sheet. So here I have a Excel. What we have is a data. This question was actually posted on Power BI community forum. The data is in this shape, like category 1, 2, 3. There's a one column, and then there are these values. And what user wanted it to make a data like this: category 1, 2, 3 on the top as columns, and then entry 1, 2, 3 as the rows values for each category. So in category 1, it has three entry 1, 2, 3, three data points. Category 2 has 2 rows, and category 3 has 1 row, and this is what it turned out to be, to what the user is looking for. And I'm going to show it in two ways how you can do it, but let's start doing it. So I have in Power Query the same data, category 1, 2, 3 in the same table. First thing is, if we try to pivot it just like this, so if I go pivot columns, so if I go because we have only one column here, entry value columns, and go do not aggregate, and this is what we get. So we get this errors, the list and all the stuff. I'm not going to in details what the errors are, but I'm going to show how we can achieve this. The first thing what we need to do here is we need to group these categories together, and add an index column. So what we're going to do here is we're going to transform and then group by. So let's go group by. And what we're going to do here is we are grouping by category, and then I'm gonna get all the rows. Basically it will return the table, and let's just see what does this return. So if I click all rows, so now it's grouped by category 1, 2, 3 and all. So if I click on the table just on an empty space, and then I can see the preview. So now I have all the entry 1, 2, 3 for category 1. Similarly on category 2 I have 2 rows, and category 3 I have 1 row. This is how our data is. So instead of each type table, I'm going to add an index column here. So how we can do that? So there is a function which is table dot add index column for each record, and then I'm going to give it a name called group, comma, and the initial value is going to be 1. I'm going to remove this for now, so just keeping it type table. Okay, so now that's what we need to do. So if we check that now, so what we have is category 1 has 3 entries, entry 1, 2, 3, and now we have a group 1, 2, 3. So we have an index for each line. Similarly 1 and 2, and here it is. Now from here it is pretty simple. I'm going to expand. What I need is entry and group 2 columns. So now I have a category 1, entry 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1. So those are the groups, or the index, whatever you want to call it. So now from here I select my category column, click on pivot columns, and then select my value column is entry, and make sure on advanced options I'm going to say do not aggregate, and that's it. So now we have category 1, 2, 3 as our columns, and entry 1, 2, 3, entry 1, 2, entry 1 as on the rows. So I can remove this group column now. So we got what we are looking for. So if we go in source as our starting point, this is what it was, and at the last point this is how our data is being transformed. Now I have another way. I also did it in a different way. Let me walk through those steps. So let's go back to source here. So our source is, I have a date, value 1, value 2. So this is one record, and this is second record, and this is third record. So what the ask here is date, value 1, value 2 is on the columns, and the respective values from column 2 on the rows. So what we're going to do here is, what I did is I added an index here. I want to just an index column from add column, index column. And then what I did is I added a custom column. If my column 1 value is equal to date, then give me the index column. So this is what I'm doing. If column 1 is equal to date, then index, otherwise null. So I'm getting 1 here and null other columns, because this is value 1 and value 2. Again, I'm getting 4 here because this is the date column, and 4, this is the index, and then 7 for this one. And now I fill it down, so this becomes 1, this becomes second, so this is now grouped together. And I remove the index column because that's what we don't need it. So now I can click on column 1, pivot, and then column 2 will be my values. So let me actually do it. So remove these steps I already did. So I go in column, transform, pivot columns. So column 2 is my value columns, and again advanced options, I go do not aggregate. Okay, and here you go. And now I remove my group column. So what I have is date as in a 1, so this becomes one record now, and on the rows value and value 2. So if we go back to our step 1, so this is how the data was, and now at the last step, this is how our data is transformed and pivoted. This is my first video on PowerQuery. I hope you enjoyed it. Pivot is not very common, we do, but again there are need, as we saw in this case, we need to create a pivot table and to transform our data to bring it to the shape what we will use in the reporting. Actually, this kind of question has been asked on Power BI community for many times. When you have a two columns only, how to pivot the data. I hope this technique or help you to learn something new. Let me know how you did this in the past if you come across such a scenario, and I would like to hear from you. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Until next video, have a great day. Do subscribe my channel, and I will be bringing a lot more videos. I hope bring more videos on Power Query as well. Take care. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Thank you.